Hello guys, we're going to go ahead and take another look at SparkZ, the Zerg on the left, going up against Mosey, the Zerg on the right. It's another ZvZ analysis for Mr. Sparks. We just watched the first game where we saw a lot of the problems in the game boiling down to economy. So I'm going to start this game off like just looking at the camera of Sparks and just talking about economy for Zerg. So pretty much, the very, very, very broadest way to look at playing Zerg in any matchup is scout your opponent and see when you can drone and when you can expand and do that safely. That's pretty much what it boils down to. You want to be able to produce as much as you can in terms of economy, because of the fact that your larvae either turn into drones, and when you build buildings, you lose a drone. So you have to be very careful with not over-droning and not under-droning. The building the right amount of drones is a really difficult aspect to playing Zerg. So in a ZvZ, you can have a lot of scouting by spreading out your overlords, so you can see if your opponent is going to be attacking you. You can sacrifice overlords because they're basically the single best early game scouting unit that you can possibly have because they fly and see a wide range. And in ZvZ, there's not really any anti-air for the beginning of the game except for queens, and they move so slowly off of creep, and so you can basically have an overlord highway all the way to your opponent's base, and you can see anything they're going to send it to you. You can sacrifice it into their main base to scout them to see if they're going to go for banelings, roaches, fast lair, if they're going to go for mass speedlings, if they're going to go for even upgraded speedlings. So there's so many things that are going to be so key for those overlords. If you ever watch pro Zergs play, they spread overlords everywhere. They surround their main with them with the intent of scouting for drops from their opponent. It's so key. Plus, they turn into overseers for detection. They are an incredibly versatile scouting unit. But now, right now we're looking at ZvZ, so let's talk more ZvZ specific. You've got to be able to get more drones on your opponent if you can, but it's so risky because ZvZ is so highly aggressive in the beginning of the game. Let's say your opponent's going for Zergling Baneling, you're going Zergling Baneling, you've got those nice micro wars of the Zerglings versus the Banelings, and what the shift Q was, but if you're going for the decisive micro war with the Zerglings and the Banelings, and let's just say you defend his aggression, is he building a spine crawler in your main base in the corner? Because I think he is. I think he is. If that's going to get scouted, that's going to be unfortunate. Because I think you've actually seen it, but I don't think you've actually noticed it. Did he actually finish in there? Oh, Sparks. Listen to those notifications again. It says there we go. Now you're seeing that. And that is an unfortunate little piece of information. Luckily, it can't hit your hatchery. You have to be seriously careful with this thing. That's going to be getting a lot of kills. But I was talking about economy before. So pretty much, oh my god, this thing's doing so much damage. Oh my god, are you lose your queen? You lost your oh. Okay, this can just be prevented if you just looked at your mini-map. That's another thing you have to handle. Because there are more resources than just money and supply. There are out-of-game resources, for example, your eyes. Your eyes and managing where you put them. That's unfortunate. But you have to look at the mini-map constantly. I completely understand that. A lot of players can suffer emotional setbacks in the game that hurt their play. Like, they'll just focus so much on a battle, make it incredibly important, so they've put all their effort into that, and ends up hurting their gameplay because of the fact that they neglect every other part, because that's the kind of timing that your opponent can take advantage of by sending out some units through mirror line and trying to kill all of your economy, in which case you're just screwed. So you have to constantly look at the minimap. Even in times of massive battles, just glance down there and see if you can see a blip of your opponent running around your main base to go into your mineral line, which is very, very possible with every single race. You can suffer Banshee Harass, Reaper Harass from Terran. You can suffer from War Prism, Zealot drops, DT drops, from Protoss. For Zerg, you can suffer from drops of Banelings, Lings. You can just suffer from Ling run-bys, and you have to be aware of that, and the best way to do that is taking a look at the minimap. Once again, I'm looking at your scouting. I'm seeing you really haven't scouted much. We don't really know what he's doing. Your metabolic boost is a little bit late, but it's not horrible. You just did a good job of brand scouting, but now you're on one base still. If you're going to be one base 7.5 minutes into the game for Zerg, you're pretty much going for Lair and going for an all-in Roach Ling attack. That's going to be the way to really maximize that if you decide to play on one base. Would be to expand tech, get to Lair, and get speed roaches out, get upgrades for those units, and now you're going for a hidden expo. I kind of like that. In this case, if you get Lair Tech right now and he scouts that, he's going to assume you're going to go for exactly what I just said. And if he doesn't scout the hidden expo, then you're in a very good spot. So I'm just curious why it took so long to build that hatchery. I hope you're not clicking in the bottom right, because you should be using every single hotkey to build those units. Like when you selected that that drone, it should have been select BH, click. And you do that in the span of half a second, and your hatchery's going down. You should not be engaging those Lings with those Lings because of the fact that the roaches are going to make sure that you don't lose anything. Smart cancel to build units and things so you don't just die. You're going to need to spawn larvae. There you go, you do. But this is going to be a really, really vulnerable time for you because this is going to do a lot of damage. Mosey's being really, really annoying. Oh, he's going to go for your... if you lose that, that's going to be horrible. He's got a surround on you. That's not good. Lings are not really there for you to help defend this. You've got 300 minerals and all the gas. You have all that larva. You can't stop your production based on this attack. You have to still get out units. Once this battle ends, okay, it looks like you've stabilized. Your queen's now at 30 energy and is spawn larva. You now have seven larvae. Let's see when you had larvae for this attack. Now you have 3 larvae. You're about to get 4. You see these Lings. You got enough to defend that. You're attacking with these roaches. That's fine. When was the last time you actually built a unit? Okay, looks like you now have no larvae. You have 2 larvae here. Okay. You have 2 larvae at 9, 10 when this attack is moving in. So you're still spending your larvae here. You're getting out roaches. Good. Larvae there. When I go into battle, I'm watching the battle more. That's why I have more larvae, I think. That's exactly my point that I'm making. I'm going to try and show you a little bit of math to make sure that you can really focus on getting out larvae. Okay, also, you just got 3 larvae. This is your max for your hatchery. You're now losing time. It takes 17 seconds for a larva to pop out of a hatchery, excluding spawn larvae. So know that. Right now, for each second, you're losing a second and getting another larva. So now, you're going to defend this. You're not supply blocked. You have all these resources. You should be not controlling those roaches, and you should be building. Okay, now you got 7 larvae. You're stabilized. Your money's now almost at 600. You spawn larvae. You should be getting some units. You're still not getting units. You're losing larvae by time. You got a drone there. Now you're getting lair, and you're getting an Evo chamber. Now you're starting to use that larva. You've now got 2 larvae left. Supply blocked, and here comes your base. Okay, good. Alright, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and make just some guesses on what your opponent is doing right now. I'm not looking at the expression bar. I'm going to guess basically that it has 2 bases, and judging what you've seen Lings and Roaches. From what I've seen there, I would be guessing that he's going to going for Lair Tech or have it already. And also that he's been droning because of the amount of units that he has there. So I'm going to guess that he has more drones than you, has an extra base on you, and is higher in the tech pattern. Just see if I'm right. I'm almost right. His second base is coming down now. He's getting Spire. He's got his lair completed. Roach Warren, he's not getting speed roaches quite yet, but I don't think his lair was out there for long, judging by the Spire just starting. Okay, so now your bases, this means that you canceling this. By the way, you probably didn't need to cancel that base. Looks like you had the money and everything to do that before. So his bases are slightly ahead of yours. Your queen energy is because you put down a creep tumor. That's fine. Though you didn't need to do that because you should have spawned larva. Got all these. You're very low on food. You really need to get a couple more overlords out there. But this creep tumor, Right, which means is it normal? Get second base actually. Depends on the opener, the strategy, and what you read from your opponent in both those respects. Let's say you're going for that speedling opener that I told you, the 14 gas, 14 pool. The earliest base you're getting is around 20, 21 food, where you're going to put the hatchery down there, which is going to be probably, I don't know, around 3 minutes in, maybe 4 minutes. Probably around 3 minutes would be my guess for that, though I don't know for certain. Let's say you're going for a hatchery first, in which case you'll be getting it within like the first 2 minutes of the game. But that's risky in ZvZ. But let's say you're going speeding opener and there's a ton of one-base aggression from you and your opponent. You get your expansion. The second you stabilize and see that he's not going to be aggressive anymore, that's when you expand. That can range anywhere between 5 minutes in and 8 minutes in, depending on the level of aggression that he's putting in. But 11 minutes in, you should be having a second base already done. Moving around here, you've got 2 gases. Lair is almost done. His is here, but once again, Muta's going to be coming in. Roach Warren, still getting speed for him. I've actually made a video on my YouTube that is based on Muta ZvZ. I critiqued, I think it was Dark Matter. He was trying to use Mutas for ZvZ. It might have been Ice Runner. I don't remember, but it was one of those 2 guys, I think. And I went and played a ZvZ or 2 using Mutas, and you can see how to be able to utilize them pretty effectively in most scenarios. So just be careful about that. By the way, you can also expand right now and get that third base very quickly, and just have this as an extra thing, and that could help you out a lot for that. You're getting Burrow, you're getting Speed, Tongue and Claw. Ooh, interesting choice, but risky to not have speed. He doesn't have detection though, but he's got Spire done. He's getting a speed of his own. He is getting out Mutas. Okay, gotta be careful with that. He's getting late 3rd and 4th gases. Once again, though, I don't think you've. Yep. You need to scout. You very much need to scout. You've seen a spine crawler, an extractor, and a hatchery. You haven't even seen a spawning pool. And now it looks like you pushed forward and you lost a ling. Hopefully you saw those roaches, but that might actually mislead you, so in a way I almost wish you didn't, but you should always be aware of that. So I'm looking around over here, you've got roaches there, you're scouting around. Has he scouted you? He has. He's got this ling attacking you. Oh, that's unfortunate. By the way, it's okay. When you go for hidden base as Zerg, you have to be careful about where you build what in terms of larva. I would want you to build all of your attacking units 2 bases once you get the second one up. Every attacking unit comes from here. When you want to build drones, you manually click on the minimap, you manually click on this hatchery, and you manually click SDDD to get those drones out. Yep. So just as a note when you're going this, you do not want him to be able to scout a bunch of drones heading down here to the bottom to a space where there shouldn't be a base, and that's going to be really, really bad for you if that happens. Unfortunately, he scouts before you can really take advantage of it, but you should be able to defend it. You're going to have to be pretty active. This is another time where Overlord spread would help you. Let's just see how many Overlords you have. You've got 6 Overlords. With 6 Overlords, I would say have one here, 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 and have one, I would say, around somewhere in this area. If you had that, you would see the ling. Try and control this watchtower, and you'd be able to see any attacks coming in. You have to keep an eye on this bases. If you send a ling around over here to patrol these 2 bases and this gold, that would be a beautiful thing to do to scout if he's going to be expanding over there. But you really need an Overlord or 2 over here in these areas. You can sacrifice it in and scout this. Your lair timing, your opponent's lair timing is so key in terms of reading a ZvZ. So let's continue looking around here. You now have speed done, about to have missile attacks, and you're now at 19 drones. You're really low on the drones. You're doing well. Can you imagine if you had an additional 20 drones? Because that's entirely possible. Your money right now is at 900. That's 18 drones that you could have had building right now, in which case you could actually have built those guys a long time ago, and you would have a lot closer to the food count that Mosey has. That you have. Because right now you're only at 40, and you're trying to get a third base. It's pretty risky. See, once again, the income is vastly in favor of your opponent. But now he's going to move in. He's got a lot of speedlings coming in. That's going to be unfortunate. This is a time that you just sacrifice the space. There's nothing you can do to defend it realistically. You just send your lings around in circles to try and keep these guys away, which is partially working, but not particularly. Also, click on his units to try and see his upgrades. Right now he's at 0-0. That's lucky for you. You got the +1 missile attack. Well, what about his roaches? Have you seen them? Because they are no innate drones or units or buildings. It's a hard thing to do. But now you can see he's got no upgrades. You have an upgrade in the roach count. I still don't think you've seen the mutas. I still think you've seen none of the mutas. So he's getting a higher muta count. He's getting double evo chambers. He's gonna be able to go ahead and get his upgrades out now. That ling is there. Third set. Now your second base is going to be up. Your supply blocks again. You really have got to bring this box. Looking at the top right is so key. You want to build those overlords in advance. You don't want to be like, oh, supply block, overlord time. Supply block, overlord time. It's inefficient, and this is a game all about efficiency. And I'm glad you have a spawn core up on the top. It can help you a lot in hitting those bottom guys when they try and push. Alright. Just speed up a little bit because there's you can just see what's going on. We've been doing this for a little bit of time. You have an overseer. Great way to get scouting overseer. You can see that you're now going to go do that, and you're going to stop here. Send them all the way, and you need this information. These mutas are going to catch you off guard once again, and that would be pretty bad. Alright. So now, looking around, Evo Chamber, for you, Infestation Pit. Nope, you should get the Passion Glands. You got the money for it. You've got a, well, now you don't, but you did before. You've got a lot of gas. Do not build Infestors until your Passion Glands is 30 seconds completed. That way, when your Infestors pop, they'll have an additional 25 energy from when they were before. They can form growth instantaneously, and it's really the most efficient way to do it. Your opponent looks like he's now going to start messing around with those mutas. That's now a scarily high count. Yeah, and he's going to go ahead and push forward. You now see them, and you do see you getting Spore Crawlers. Good. But it's a little late. And now you're going to lose some more precious drones. You just lost every drone at your natural. He's not even worrying about the Spore Crawler. He's just going to go ahead and attack you and take out this base with these mutas. They've got the +1 attack. You have no mobile anti-air right now, and this is game. You could theoretically hold on, but like a last ditch counterattack would be really bad. You've got his mutas can actually take out your Hydras in the count that they're in right now, and he can just go, oh my god, he's going to go ahead and just take out more drones. Hydras are here. Very low count, though. You're relying on scaring the mutas away with Hydras instead of actually being able to defeat them, which is risky. Very, very risky. So now you're expanding once again. And by the way, another thing to note is that I shouldn't keep this playing. When you get a hatchery killed and there are larvae that still exist down there, you have to be very careful because the larvae are no longer going to be attached to a hatchery. It means you can't select them via hatcheries. You have to manually box them and use them to build units. So that's something to really be aware of when you're trying to do this stuff. Alright, so now getting more guys out. Those drones should not be down there. They should be over here because you still can increase efficiency down there, and you've got a hatchery that's not even done yet. So this single muta, wow. But now you move in, and more drones are lost. You're now down to 10 drones. Where are the Spore Crawlers? You need Spore Crawlers. He's killed 18 drones. In each case, you'd only have 28 drones. This is 39. And he's just massing up a large army. He's only getting attack upgrades. He only needs them. He can just run over you very, very quickly once he actually decides to engage. Overlords here. Overlord placement gets rough when you get mutas on the field. You just scout the mutas before they get out. You can easily just pull your overlords back into your main base and center them around a couple Spore Crawlers, and you'll be fine. You can just send them into like a space over here or something while you have Spore Crawlers defend your mirror line, and you'll be okay. And he's attacking in 2 prongs. And goodbye to that spawning pool. And he's got more than enough to crush you. And there's GG. Alright, so now, yeah, you're losing a lot. Why aren't you leaving the game? You GG'd. BG, is that bad game? Is that what you're saying? All I know is that if you GG, leave the game. There's no reason to stay if you GG'd. You've acquiesced that he's the victor, so let him get the win. You did get owned, but this is another. This is actually a really good way to get owned because it's going to help you learn, and you really should not be in this game right now. You GG'd. You seriously just let him win by elimination? Why what? It's the only part about the delay of the stream is sometimes the questions get a little delayed. But yeah, also your infestor here, that could help you out a lot. With some infested Terrans. But you've got to get this forest in the mirror line. You've got a lot of the fundamentals down, but you've got to be really, really careful. Okay, so you're completely counterattacking with these few roaches, but it's not going to do anything. He's spamming out all of these spore crawlers. Yeah. Okay. Alright, yep, no problem. Do you not have any more questions? Because otherwise, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you.